What if the most dangerous man at 140 isn't a world champion, but a young, undefeated fighter from Gary, Indiana, who built his record in the unforgiving rings of Mexico? He's not on magazine covers or flashing designer brands, but his record is impossible to ignore. 21 fights, 21 wins, and 16 knockouts. Meet Breyon Grind Time Gorham, a name the boxing world is about to know very well. Breyon Gorham was born January 1st, 2001 in Gary, Indiana, a city with deep boxing roots that produced legends like Tony Zale. Breyon's family carries that boxing DNA. His uncle, Duke Tanner, was a 19-0 light heavyweight who trained under the legendary Angelo Dundee before legal troubles derailed his promising career. When Breyon was young, his family moved to Baytown, Texas, seeking better opportunities. There, Breyon discovered boxing and immediately took to the sport. Training with his father's support, even while incarcerated, his uncle Duke mentored him by phone, passing down lessons from the Dundee era. Juan Lopez at Lopez's Boxing in Baytown became Breyon's full-time trainer, shaping his raw talent into elite skill. Under Lopez, Breyon dominated the Houston Golden Glove circuit, capturing an incredible 8 titles, one of the top amateur achievements in the region. On August 31st, 2018, at 17, Breyon Gorham turned professional in Mexico, winning by TKO in round 2. Unlike most American prospects who pad their records at home, his manager, Vicente Ruiz, booked him extensively in Mexico, places where the crowd, the judges, and the environment were all against him. Between 2018 and 2020, Breyon fought throughout Mexico, gaining experience at a pace few American fighters match. By age 20, he had 15 pro fights. Most U.S. prospects have less than half that. His KO rate sits around 75%, showing real finishing power. But let me paint a picture of what fighting in Mexico really means. In Mexico, boxing venues, the atmosphere is electric and unforgiving. The crowd roars for their local hero. The judges, they're not impartial. Breyon learned quickly that close rounds don't go to the visitor. You have to win decisively or you don't win at all. Fight after fight, Breyon had to prove himself not just against his opponent, but against an entire system designed to favor the home fighter. There were no easy nights, no hometown decisions, no safety net. This wasn't a tourist stop on a prospect's resume. This was a fighter choosing the hard path when he could have stayed home and fought hand-picked opponents in front of a friendly crowd. While other American prospects were padding their records against journeymen in small-town venues, Breyon was in hostile territory, learning to fight under pressure, to stay composed when everything was stacked against him. He immersed himself in Mexican boxing culture. He trained in gyms where local champions sharpened their skills. He earned respect the old-fashioned way by showing up and proving himself night after night. By the time Breyon left Mexico, he wasn't just undefeated. He was battle-tested in a way few American fighters his age could ever claim. Breyon's style is best described as a patient, methodical boxer puncher. Standing at 5'8", he applies speedy pressure, keeping his hands high and wastes no movement. He stacks his punches using the jab to set range, then mixing in body shots and uppercuts with precision. Watch his fights, and you'll see his favorite weapon, the left hook to the liver, set up by feints and double jabs. Medical studies confirm a clean liver shot can cause the body to shut down. Breyon's opponents, they often experience that. Sparring partners and trainers constantly say he gets more dangerous as the fight goes on, adjusting to his opponent's habits and systematically breaking them down. His footwork and angles, horned under Juan Lopez, allow him to adapt whether facing taller or shorter opponents. On September 20th, 2025, at Houston's Bayou Music Center, Breyon faced Yomar Alamo, a Puerto Rican veteran with a 22-4-1 record. This was Breyon's first 10-round main event, and Alamo was a real test. He was experienced, he was tough, and he was durable. Breyon dominated, winning by unanimous decision, 99-91, 99-91, and 98-92. He controlled the pace, landing the cleaner punches, and showed he could maintain elite focus and technique for a full 10 rounds. After the fight, analysts and commentators began asking, where has this kid been? The answer? Building his skills in tough venues away from the spotlight, preparing for moments just like that one. But here's what makes the victory even more significant. Yomar Alamo wasn't a stepping stone opponent. He was a veteran who'd been in the ring with legitimate competition. He knew how to survive. He knew how to make fights ugly. And Breyon didn't just beat him, he dominated him across 10 rounds. This was Breyon's statement to the 140-pound division. I'm not just undefeated, I'm ready for the ranked competition. Now, while Duke Tanner watched from ringside, finally free and back in Breyon's corner after years of incarceration, his nephew proved that all those phone calls from prison, all those lessons passed down from the Angelo Dundee era had created something special. The student had become a legitimate contender. The teacher was there to witness it all. The super lightweight division is stacked right now. Teofimo Lopez holds the WBO title, and Subriel Matias is the reigning WBC super lightweight champ. After defeating Alberto Breyon by majority decision this past July, his second world title after previously holding the IBF belt from 2023 to 2024. This was Matias' first championship won by decision, proving he's evolved beyond just knockout power. Now, Liam Paro, who defeated Matias for the IBF title in June of 2024, lost it via split decision in December 2024, leaving the IBF title landscape in transition. Breyon is currently ranked number 15 by the IBF, putting him on the radar of major sanctioning bodies. With a few more wins against ranked opponents, he'll climb into Which champion do you think Breyon matches up with best against? Teofimo's speed and movement, Matias' evolving power punching. Drop your predictions in the comments. Breyon's journey, fighting in Mexico, learning the hard way, and grinding into obscurity sets him aside from the hype-driven prospects. Now, at 21-0 with 16 knockouts and ranked number 15 by the IBF, he's no longer a secret. The boxing world is starting to pay attention. The question isn't if Breyon Gorham will get his title shot, it's when. If you want to hear Breyon's story straight from the source, make sure you subscribe to Jab Queen Boxing. Our exclusive interview is coming up this week, where Breyon dives deep into his journey, his training with Juan Lopez, his plans to take over the 140-pound division. And, well, I'll let him tell you the rest. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications. You don't want to miss this. This is the kind of story mainstream boxing media ignores, but we don't. Welcome to Jab Queen Boxing, where the gloves come off and the truth always comes out.